after I got pregnant, I was researching about what, exercise is safe. And as it turns out, exercise is not only safe, it's, it's recommended. And if you're at a high level of exercise before you're pregnant, you should continue that. There's obviously things you can't do, anything that's striking your abdomen, blah, blah, blah. There's things you can't do, but you should stay active. And, you certainly can continue to do a lot of things. There's no reason not to be active. And actually, it's worse for you if you just stop doing any activity. So the point of saying that is that one of the girls at the gym who does jujitsu with me, who has become a friend, she, watched me work out while I was pregnant. And, she and her husband were talking about having a child, and she was, she's really gotten into martial arts, kind of similar to the path I followed, where she just found it and loved it and never really had any background growing up in it. But she was really bummed by the fact that she was thinking, I have to give this up if I have a baby. I have to give this up if I'm pregnant. I can't do, I can't exercise. And she said, she's told me that just watching me and what I've done and worked out. I mean, I wasn't trying to go motivate anybody. I was just going there because I needed it mentally, but watching me box and kickbox and even do jujitsu, later on, I was doing it only with Josh, Eva's dad. But the point is, she was saying that really opened up her eyes, because the family that she comes from, a lot of people are like, oh, well, you'll have to give that up when you're pregnant, or you'll have to, it's like, no, this can be a part of your life forever. You have to modify certain aspects of it when you're pregnant. And I even told her, I said, Josh has been working with me. I'd be happy to work with you if and when you ever get pregnant, because you just need a partner who knows what's safe and what isn't safe. I think I traumatized this young kid at rolling one day, like when I was about maybe 8 or 10 weeks along. I was kind of at the level where I probably should almost stop, but I was not quite ready to stop. And he put me in a body triangle, which is where your legs are locked like on someone's abdomen, and you squeeze. And he squeezed right up on my stomach, and I just panicked. And the first thing I thought is, I'm pregnant. I was like screaming. This kid is like I think he thought like he got me. Like, he was like young and probably like 17, 16 years old, in high school, definitely. And he was just like, it's just like, I'm so sorry I handled it that way. I should have told you before we started rolling. I just wasn't thinking that I knew he wasn't gonna be punching me in the stomach, but I was not thinking body triangle. And this kid put me in a body triangle, like so tight. And the first thing I thought was like, I got to get him off of me. And that was all I thought to say. So anyway, I'm pregnant. But yeah, but somebody who knows that you're pregnant and what they need to avoid, obviously, I told her like I could help you out. So I think I feel good about that, because I feel like that gave her a different perspective on life and fitness while pregnant, like during pregnancy, that she wouldn't have had if she hadn't seen me do that. And I got a lot of negative comments as well, but that was one thing that I'm like, I know I did my research. So I talked to my doctor, and I'm going to listen to my doctor before I listen to somebody who talked to a doctor 30 years ago while they were pregnant. So, but.
Right. Like, no, studies have come a long way, for sure.
Yeah, things have changed, and that's just what it is. So you kind of took it with a grain of salt. Like, oh, can you do that? Is that safe? I'm like, yeah, it's safe. My doctor said it's safe. Okay, like,
I'm a good person. I do my research. I'm not gonna do
exactly. I am type A. I'm worried about things all the time. Worried about anything that could go wrong. So believe me, I checked.
Well, for all the young ladies, especially the young lady, you already encouraged and inspired her. For all the young ladies out there who will be watching this, what are some encouraging words or inspiration that you have for them?
I would encourage them to, this might seem weird, but I would encourage them to trust their gut. I think that we, as women, for some reason, I think this is another socialization thing. I think we tend to undercut our internal, our feelings and our gut response to things, and we tend to discount it. I know I do, because I'm like, okay, I don't know that it's based on some kind of empirical evidence, so I must be. And especially if someone's telling me the opposite, I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what I'm basing this on. But a lot of times human beings take in information without, the subconsciously, without realizing it, so we're putting things together, and we're making assessments, kind of processing in the background all the time. So I think that young women especially are taught not to listen to their own internal voice. And I would say, to the extent possible, you know, listen to your subconscious, whatever it's telling you, listen to your gut, whatever you want to call it. You know what's best for you more than anybody else does. I can't really give the advice to say, like, you know, you're beautiful and perfect as you are. Although, you know, that's one thing about having a child that has changed my perspective. It's made me a lot more appreciative of like the beauty of human beings, because I think she's absolutely the most perfect thing I've ever laid my eyes on. And I don't think there's a thing that she could do that change how perfect she is. I don't think she needs makeup. I don't think she needs, and I'll never feel that way. I'll never think she needs to, like, I get like teared up even thinking about her. But like, I don't think she, you know, so I try to, you know, I think there's advice about talking to talking to yourself how you talking to others, and I think that's great advice, because we tell ourselves the worst things sometimes about ourselves. So I think that's advice that I've heard. You know, not everybody that has a daughter that can pretend that they're talking to their daughter like I can, but they can, you know, pretend they're talking to a younger version of themselves, or what they needed to hear as a younger girl, or what they would tell their little sister if they had one, that kind of thing. I think just being kinder to, you know, thinking about ourselves in a more kind way and talking to ourselves in a more kind way is something that I would hope everybody can strive to do. I know it's hard. You know, negative self-talk is an easy cycle to get into. Be nice to yourself, and then whatever it is you want to do, just go for it. You know, you're never too old or too whatever to do whatever you want to do. Like, people, especially nowadays, you can like reinvent yourself a million different times in your life. And so, I mean, there's maybe a few things you're too old to do, but not many. So just go
That's
for
right.
it.